This is The Goode Show. My name's Surinder and I'm a military spouse. I've been a military spouse for over 26 years and my guy served 30 years as a Navy SEAL and retired as a Command Master Chief. Now, I've heard a few stories and I've told a few stories and now I am sharing stories. Sit back, relax, grab a beer, grab a coffee and enjoy. Check us out on social media at The Goode Show. Welcome to this week's episode. My name is Surinder. This is The Goode Show and we have a very special PSA announcement for you. I'm down here at Naval Base San Diego today with Captain Robert Heely. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for being here.
Well, thank you for having me in your office. Now, it is a fact that one of the 5 hidden dangers in the home are window safety, which is something, I got to be honest with you, Captain, I never thought of. You know, that the windows would be an issue. So you want to highlight today the hidden dangers that many families may not think about. So I want to get into the big picture and I want to start by asking you, why is window safety such a critical issue right now?
Yeah, well, I appreciate the opportunity to have this conversation because it is vitally important that we get the message out about window safety because it is, as you note, one of the top 5 household issues, hazards, especially for young kids. And the data shows that. And if you look at it, over 3,300 children under the age of 6 are treated in the emergency room for falls. Okay? Not all of those are fatalities, but you know it is a huge concern because you never want anyone to fall out of a window.
Now, I know that most people believe that just by popping a screen there is going to be preventable, but that is not the case here, especially since we've had some incidents in San Diego recently.
Yeah, screens certainly are not a safeguard. And so, as you note, we have had some heartbreaking losses over the past month. And I think just hammers home the point why this conversation is so important. Just in the past month alone at our facilities, our family housing areas in the greater San Diego area, we've had 3 falls.
Oh, wow.
And the children have been under 8. One was obviously a young infant, and they fell out of the window. And tragically, 2 passed away.
Oh
and so this window safety message is vitally important to make sure that families understand the risks. Certainly we have the data with, that I just mentioned is one of the top 5 hazards, but we're really trying to beat the drum to make sure people understand the importance of, watching their children and making sure that we adhere to those standards, with window safety.
Watching the children, that's an important point because as I've read some documentation, I've done it, put a couch in front of the window, not thinking twice, your kid climbs up on the couch. Those are the kind of dangers we want to bring to the forefront, that these things are preventable. So window opening control devices, these are one of the things that are implemented for security purposes. Talk to us about those, control devices. How do they work?
Yeah, so there's different window opening control devices throughout, and most of our facilities here in San Diego have what's called an angel lock.
Okay.
And those angel locks are basically a mechanism that prevents a window from opening a certain distance. So basically it'll open it up 4 inches to give you some airflow, which is important. Okay, and families definitely want to get that airflow, especially here in Southern California. But it prevents that. You can override that, and in many cases we've seen that. So we have to balance certainly the emergency egress requirements for homes, and some windows are emergency egress windows, some are not. And then some, in bedrooms and things certainly are. So having these locks is vitally important. And today, anything that is a windowsill at 25 inches, we have these angel locks on, and they're there. Over the last several, year or so, Liberty Military Housing has gone up to 42 inches. So we're now kind of increasing the safety that we have on some of these windows. One of the drawbacks is it can be disengaged. And
yes.
I certainly understand why some families would do that just to get increased airflow and listening to children outside or whatever it might be. But it certainly is a concern because seconds matter.
Yeah.
And, as we look in these situations that have happened recently, those seconds could be, life or death
Yeah.
scenarios.
So when you override the control, that is when we are now in a situation that, okay, there could be something dangerous and we really need to. So don't override the control. I think that that's a point there. It's there for a purpose. It's meant to be there, so utilize it as a control rather than overriding it altogether. I am shocked, I think, along with every other parent, that these instances are occurring. Let me ask you, with Liberty Military Housing, how are they addressing the situation in Navy Region Southwest?
Yeah, it's a multi-pronged approach. I mean, certainly we are going out to assess the condition of these locks and really understand, the locks and if there is a better solution. And just last week, I was out there with both the Navy Region team and Liberty and others to really talk, and including a fire chief, to talk through the dangers here and any other mechanisms that we can put in place that may be a little bit more permanent, that can't really be disengaged. And it's a balance between, certainly just the egress piece, which we have to be aware of, but also the quality of life that,
Yes.
in Southern California, which we treasure so much here. So we're looking at other options to make those window locks a little bit more permanent. So maybe families won't disengage them. And so I think we'll be seeing some changes here shortly. So that's definitely important. The other thing we're going to do is, and just why we're here today, is really to educate folks
Yes.
to the dangers and the hazard that window falls, the window safety is. Just based on these last 3 incidents over the last month, I mean, it hurts and it's heartbreaking. So we're going to be a little bit more blunt and forward-leaning in our education approach, using Liberty and what they do. Whenever a new tenant comes in, they sign, that lease that includes material on window safety. There's also stickers on the window which talk about that at any window that has those concerns. And certainly across their portfolio. I mean, we've got over 9,100 homes just in this region alone. Within the region, that extends in California and Nevada, we've got over 12,000 homes.
Wow.
So there's a lot of homes here. But, they've got over 1,000, I think it's 103,000 of these window lock devices that are already installed. We're increasing that, and we're going to look at some options to increase the control device to make it a little bit more permanent. But we're also going to step up the education and make it a little bit more, forward-leaning in an approach to let people know the dangers and try to resonate with every family that before you do this, think twice.
Yeah. Now, I've noticed that as well, that residents of Liberty Military Housing can certainly go to their little office to request the angel locks if they don't have them on the window. So there's a lot of resources, and Liberty Military Housing has been very proactive in getting these locks on and getting everything situated. But residents can go to their clubhouse and request the angel locks.
Yeah, they can request the angel locks, and most of the locks are going to be on those high-risk areas today. And then there's the angel guards, which is another step up, which Liberty, upon request, Liberty can come out and install angel guards, it's a little bit more rigorous gate that goes across the window. And we've got thousands installed across the region now, but that is an additional measure that families can take, and all it takes is to go into the district office and request that, and they will be installed.
Now, I know that Navy Region Southwest has set up a website so that people can go to the website, get some more education and some resources. And I believe they're also on Instagram and Facebook, so you must go to navylifesw.com to see the video. And your public affairs officers have been putting things out through the channels as well. What can families do today, right now, to secure the windows, to make sure the kids aren't close by, to prevent any incidents from occurring in the future? What can families do today?
Well, there's a lot, and many are doing this all the time. I've got 2 teenage daughters, and I've lived in military housing with teenagers, with toddlers, and it is definitely a concern. Making sure those locks stay engaged at all times is important, okay? And the second piece is making sure that you watch after your children to make sure that they're not getting near those windows and can push out screens and fall from those screens. I think the other thing is just making sure that you're not putting something where kids can step up and expose those windows a little bit more, especially for some of the younger children. I know that's tough, and I've toured every housing complex we have here over the course of my 2 years here. And there are some homes and family rooms where, the only place to really put a couch is right here in front of these windows. And so families, they're faced with kind of that, and I understand that. And so that's why it's even more important to have those window locks on there to make sure that that added security, is there.
And I know that you guys have also reached out to schools, the regional ombudsman, to commands to get the word out. But I think it's very unique that you've actually gone to schools and put the word out there as well, and then in child youth programs, so everybody across the board is getting to hear about this.
Absolutely. We are going, and I appreciate the opportunity to put that PSA out here, but we are hitting all over. And Friday after I had sent a note out several weeks ago about this child safety, the window fall safety issue. And then another one happened last Thursday. And Friday, I immediately sent out an urgent message to the leadership across this base to let them know of the continued issues we're having. I sent them some of our, advertisements on this topic, and we have videos out there. And I know through our social media, mechanism, we've got a bunch of things out there just to beat the drum. Okay, and you're probably going to see, some of us at the gates handing things out just to be a little bit more forward-leaning. If you do sign a lease and join us in our great military family housing here in San Diego, you're going to see a little bit more literature there where it matters. And some of these even have, steps that are right next to the window, kind of a window seat, so to speak. Liberty has removed a lot of those over the last couple of years, but there's some that are still out there based on utilities being, run within them and things like that. So, the safety concerns are there, and really I just want people to be aware of the danger, the hazard this causes, because it's heartbreaking, when we do have folks, fall out of those windows. Absolutely.
And again, hearing about this has been news to me about when I look back at raising my kids, again, to your point, we've all put a couch in front of a window. Right. There's been a bookcase or something else in front of the window. Our call to action today is very strong. We want everybody to share this with everybody. Military or otherwise, I think it's important that everybody knows that windows are a hazard in the household. So we want everybody to share this episode of the Goode Show. We want you to go to Navy Life Southwest, look at their video. Captain, as we are keeping everybody informed as we are going along with this, I would like the opportunity to be able to come back and follow up with you in a couple of months' time, and to see how all the windows are now fitted with new locks, and the situation has been contained, so to speak. But again, it can't be contained unless our listeners put the message out and share it with everybody. Everybody has to know. I also know as well that MWR has put some video into some of the screens that they have. So everywhere you go on base, there is absolutely no reason why somebody shouldn't see one of these videos.
You bet. Yeah, they're all over the place, and certainly we're trying to tap into different avenues to really, get that message out there, and that's why this is a great opportunity. And your listeners certainly are, a formidable bunch out there, and a strong community of military members and spouses who are critical to this. And I just ask your audience to get that message out. Help us, resonate, make sure that's resonate across the force, so we can prevent another child from falling out. It's heartbreaking to see it, and never want it to happen.
No. And you could save a life by simply sharing this video to your network, to your military network of spouses, your friends, your neighbor. Share the video, inform everybody of the dangers, direct them to Navy Life SW online, Facebook and Instagram, for everybody to get educated. And as Captain Heely said, there will be some more information given out. And spouses, I have to say this. Captain, I have done this. I have gone into a home, there's been a sticker on a window, or there's been some literature. and I haven't taken any notice. And we have to. The sticker's on the window for a reason.
Yeah.
The literature is given to you for a reason. So educate yourselves, look after your children, and look after your military neighbours. Captain Heely, it has been a pleasure to have you on the show today. I really appreciate it. And we are going to follow up in a couple of months again. Captain Heely from Naval Base San Diego. Look at your Navy Life Southwest Instagram and Facebook page. Window safety is something that we can't afford to overlook. So again, bluff bottom line up front. Get this message out and share it to everybody in your network. Captain, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate it.
Thank you for allowing me to do it.
Thanks for tuning in to The Goode Show. I hope you have been inspired by today's conversation. If you loved what you heard, help us spread the word. Follow me on Instagram @The Goode Show. As military spouses, we all have stories to share, experiences, resources, and support. I want to hear your story and highlight your business. Let's connect, DM me, or visit surrendergoode.com to share your journey. Until next time, take care, stay inspired, and keep doing good things.